Hey, welcome to Mind Your Own Biz, the podcast where we help small business owners with big dreams build something authentically you. I'm Alicia Yervis, educator, marketer, designer, nacho enthusiast, and your big sister in business. I'm excited for us to have this cozy spot to chat. Each episode, we'll tackle candid conversations, actionable tips, and a few fun tangents to help you run your business your way. Because business is always personal, no matter what anyone says. So grab your iced coffee or those nachos, and let's get started. Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Own Biz. My name is Alicia Yervis. I am your host, and thank you so much for listening. I have wanted to have today's guest on this podcast ever since I started it almost a year ago. We've been trying to coordinate dates, and we had one scheduled for a couple months ago, but life was lifing, and we had to reschedule. And I kept at it because I was like, I have to get you on this podcast because so much of this person's brand, business, style, vibe, and my history with her, which we're going to talk about, is such a huge part of not only my business, but my philosophy in life and in business, and also what I try to bring to this podcast and also through my downloads, my educational resources, my courses, my marketing, everything. So if you've ever felt like, in business, like you're playing it small or someone told you to tone things down, you're trying to fit into someone else's box, someone else's mold. Today's guest is here to prove that doing things your way can be exactly what makes you stand out. And so my guest today is Katie Us. She is the owner of Kismet Acupuncture and Apothecary in Kenilworth, New Jersey. You've probably seen her on social media at at Kismet Acupuncture. Maybe you've been on her website, kismetacupuncture.com. And she and I have been working together in various ways ever since 2020. So she's one of my longest clients. I also call her a friend, very happy and proud to be able to call her a friend. And we started working together back in 2020 when she had an old website. We did a little website audit, a little refresh on that. And then eventually it moved into a full new website, total website redesign, to really bring in more of her vibe, more of her point of view, more of her bold, brash, just voice and personality. And so ever since then, we've worked on a lot of other things, lots of branding stuff, just different graphic design projects, tons of marketing, emails, social media content strategy, all kinds of stuff. And she's awesome. She is not your quote unquote typical acupuncturist, and we're going to talk all about that. But she's got pink hair. Her brand has some fun lightning bolts in it. There's this really cool like cartoon little avatar character of her that we've been able to pull through lots of stuff. When you check out this episode, when you listen to this episode, check out her social media presence. Head to Instagram and go to at Kismet Acupuncture to see what I mean by this little cartoon character that we have put all over everything, including the facade of her building in Kenilworth, New Jersey. We're going to talk about that. She loves David Bowie. We make merch for her. We've got like all kinds of cool stuff because people just love how her brand looks, and she is just all about unapologetic self-expression. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about things that are super important to me that I love talking about, like being yourself in business, evolving and changing as an entrepreneur, like allowing space for your business to shift and change. And, some things run their course, some things are brand new, and kind of seeing where you land. Branding with personality, absolutely. Salty signage. We're going to talk about that. Katie is a salty lady and I love her for it. And creating community and more. And I just can't wait to dig into everything. She's one of the coolest people I know. She's covered in tattoos and piercings. She cares so much about her work and her clients and helping them heal and helping them, honestly, sometimes just enjoy a really nice acu-nap at the end of their appointment. So we're going to talk about all kinds of things today. And before we get to, before I open the door and welcome Katie into this conversation, I just want to also remind you that if you've been craving some one-to-one clarity in your brand or in your marketing, my Empower Hour sessions are perfect for that. So I want to remind you about those. And because you're a podcast listener, you can use code PODCAST at checkout to save $25 on your Empower Hour session with me. So I'm going to put the link to that in the show notes. But if you're listening, you could head to aliciayurvis.com/empower hour. That's aliciayurvis.com/EMPOWERHOUR. Empower Hour. And I can't wait to chat with you about all the things. All right. So, as I was saying, I'm really, really excited about this episode. So, let me tell you a little bit about Katie. Katie Us is the owner of Kismet Acupuncture and Apothecary in Kenilworth, New Jersey. She is a licensed acupuncturist in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Louisiana. Her small business offers expert acupuncture treatments designed to restore balance, alleviate pain, and enhance overall well being. Katie combines traditional techniques with modern insights to provide personalized care for each patient. Her apothecary, which is so cool, by the way, just podcast host note sidebar over here. Her apothecary is freaking awesome. We're going to talk about that, what's in it, and all kinds of just the cool products that she has and why that's important to her. And this is the witchiest, most fun little shop. So, anyway, her apothecary curates a unique selection of high quality self care items. When not at the office, you can find her worshipping at the altar of David Bowie, reading books, or spending time with her husband. So, I'm really, really excited to welcome my friend and client, Katie. Hi, my friend. I'm so excited to have you here on the podcast. I was just saying in the intro how I've wanted to have you on here for a long time. We've known each other a long time. We had one scheduled, we had to reschedule it, and I'm just so happy that we worked it out because so much of your business and brand is like so much of what I believe in and what I try to get folks to learn more about on this podcast and in my courses and resources and stuff. I want people to be their true authentic self, and that is exactly what you do every single day. So I'm so excited to have you here, Katie.
Yay, I'm so excited we could finally reschedule. So
Yeah,
let's do it.
let's do it. So first things first, I have to welcome you back because I know you just got back from the beautiful state of Maine.
I
It
did.
was your your first time being there. So was it magical? What did you think of the state itself?
It was pretty magical. It was great. I didn't get to see a lot of it because I was
Yeah.
training. So I spent 2 full days in training, but I got to eat a lot of seafood and I got to see the leaves changing and I
Ooh.
got to go to a really cool dispensary called Meowie Jane that was cat
That sounds
themed.
perfect for you.
It was amazing. Um, and I got to stay in a really great hotel and had a really good time learning all weekend. So it was really fun.
That's
I'm looking forward
awesome.
to going back and having
Yes,
it to
yes.
myself.
Yes, a real like actual vacation where you could just chill and explore. Your hotel did look really awesome. What was the name of that hotel?
The Lincoln Hotel,
The Lincoln Hotel.
I splurged.
Nice.
Figured if I
It looked
had to be
really
there
cool.
for
That was in
training.
Yeah, yeah. And that was in the hotel was that Portland?
It was in Biddeford,
Biddeford. Okay,
like
cool.
25 minutes
Yeah.
outside of Portland.
Okay. Yeah, the pictures look beautiful. And thank you for answering the seafood question because I was gonna say, did you and your husband get to have lobster roll? Like, I'm glad you had some seafood.
Yeah, we found a gluten-free seafood place on the water. It was amazing. So I was able to eat all the seafood I wanted to eat.
Oh my God, the best.
So
They
good.
literally just reach right into the water there and put it on your plate.
Yeah,
So
it was
that's
so good.
awesome. So you went up there and I was gonna, tease this topic a little bit because I want to talk about it later in the conversation, but tell
Mhm.
us why you went up there.
I went up to complete my pelvic floor certification. So now
Amazing.
I can fully treat the pelvic floor and all the different complications that come from that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, as I'm getting older, I might need to come see you.
I think we could all benefit from this for sure.
Yeah. Like sometimes if I sneeze, I got a problem.
Yeah,
So
same, same.
uh-huh. So I love that you wanted to do that. Like that you wanted to add that into your education, into,
Yeah.
obviously your services and your offerings at Kismet. I want to talk more about that later, so we'll get into that.
Okay.
But first things first, like I mentioned, you're the owner of Kismet Acupuncture and Apothecary in Kenilworth, New Jersey. It's an adorable space. It's beautiful. It's magical. It's the best.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to see the evolution of it, not only the physical space, because you used to be in a different building,
Yep.
but then you slowly kind of took over this new building across the way. And for someone that has never been there, how would you kind of describe the vibe of Kismet? Like from the very first little rainbow welcome mat outside, and I explained in the intro too, like you have this awesome cartoon version of yourself as part of your branding, and we emblazoned that on the front of the facade as well. So tell us a little bit about you see Kismet, what do they experience?
You basically walk in and it's me greeting you, and it smells really yummy from all the candles and the incense and the bath bombs and everything that's in there. So you get, I don't know, it just feels really calm to me and relaxed, and we treat you like family. And you get to go into a room, and then when you're sitting there with needles, you have dark rooms, you have really fun, mu like not fun music, but like really calming music to help you meditate and relax. And then you leave with some tea and we book out your appointments. And it's just really simple and easy. Everybody floats out of the office. It's so much fun. I just try to make it feel really homey and really like welcoming.
Mm-hmm. You
That
definitely
starts
succeed
with
at that. Yeah.
the rainbow mat outside and the bright pink door, and you kind of know what you're getting when you walk in the door because you can see my little emoji outside, my little emoji, whatever the fuck she is. You can see her. She's got pink hair and tattoos, so you walk in and you know who I am. So
Yep. 100%.
yeah,
And it's funny, like when you were talking about just creating, this nice space, this nice calming space, like I was talking in the intro about acu-naps, which now are part of my vocabulary. This is working with
yep.
you for a long time, and other acupuncturists. And I just wonder, like, how many folks come in, like with literally specifically that as their as their end goal. Like, I just need an acu-nap at the end of my treatment.
There are so many, so many. Everybody walks in and they're like, "I'm ready for my nap." So that's, all my oldies, they walk in and they're like, "I'm ready for my nap." And the new ones are like, "I'm gonna nap here? What?"
Hmm.
And then they nap and they're like, "Oh, I get it.
I get it now.
Yeah, I get it."
So when you talk about like, the vibe within the space itself, because the front area, for those of you who've never been, the front area, there's like a counter reception area, and then the shop area to the side, and then you have the treatment rooms and an event space, and different
Yeah.
stuff down the corridor and stuff. But when you first walk in, there's such a it's like a multi-sensory kind of experience when you first step
hmm
into the space. And so why did you want to have that be part of your business? Like to obviously you do it for yourself too to do your best work, but how do you set that mood intentionally? Like every day, do you pick the tea that you're going to brew or the incense that you're going to light based on mood, based on season, based on customer feedback? Like how do you kind of set it up each day?
Yeah. So when I'm in there, I mean, I walk in, I set up the rooms, we get everything started, everything warmed up. Um, And then we pick a tea. I pick a tea, and it's just like, did I have a headache this week? Did somebody come in
Hmm.
and have a headache? Are we in allergy season? Like, do we need certain things this week? Um, most of the time the teas are just really calming because that's the mood I want you to feel, and that's how I
Yeah.
want you to feel when you leave, and I want it to continue on in a cup of tea that you can take. Um,
Oh, that's right. You
Instead,
give them the little
yeah,
to-go cup, and the cup has your face on it too.
it does. My face is everywhere. There's a lot of my face. Um, but yeah, we pick the tea and they go home, and incense is just kind of whatever my mood is that day. I just kind of pick
hmm
something or we light a candle. Um, yeah, we just kind of, set the mood.
I love it. It's like it's all about cozy vibes, comfort vibes, no matter the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Um, and so as part of that, we have to talk about the plants. Like your space is full of these beautiful,
Yeah.
thriving green babies. And I just wonder, like, have you always had a green thumb? Like I have a black thumb. I do not have a green thumb. There's one thing I've kept alive for like 10 years, and it's this little terrarium of like mini succulents, but that's because it
Nice.
requires basically nothing. But I cannot grow anything. So, have you always had a green thumb?
I grew up on a farm, so there was always
How did
growing.
I not know that?
Yeah. So we always had gardens and vegetables and flowers and all that. And I don't know, I just really got into plants when I opened my own space because there was just so much sun with those big windows in the retail space. Like I just wanted to cover everything in green and plants. And green goes
hmm
really well with pink. So,
Hello. Yes. We know
so
that from Wicked as well, but yes.
This is true. Wicked has capitalized on the pink and green thing. So, yeah, and I just love having the plants because they're alive and they provide
hmm
oxygen and they clean the air and just yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty. And my pothos
And
are like almost down to the floor now and they're on like the tallest
wow.
shelf.
Oh my
So,
God. Wow.
they're doing
Yeah,
well.
I was just gonna ask if you have a favorite plant right now. Would it be those?
I love my pothos just because they're so easy and you have to water them like every 2 weeks and then they just grow and grow and grow. But my pink princess is actually my favorite right now. She's growing a whole new stalk and they're all bright pink leaves
Hmm.
and they're just so beautiful. And
Love
it was
it.
a gift, so I'm really glad it's thriving.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And it's also like, in a way, it's another thing that you take care of in the
Hmm.
space, like you take care of the plants, you take care of the people.
Yep.
Um, I love that. It's so it just adds another element to it when you walked in. Um, and another thing that I wanted to talk about is that I know like one of the things that you have in the space or in the retail space too, which I'd love to hear more about, the different items that are very popular there. But you do sell like some really cool crystals and elements that someone might want to put on, like if they're going to make an altar at home or like do some morning rituals. Can you talk through what that looks like for you, like as a person? Like you've talked to me before about some of the morning rituals you've done, and I'm just curious what that looks like for you.
I think it's just like really good to start a day with like a ritual. I drink my coffee, I journal sometimes, I'll read. Um, I just kind of set the intention for the day. I want it to be calm. I don't want to feel overwhelmed or rushed or any of those sorts of things. So I set the mood to that during the day. And then, you light candles, you make things smell pretty, those sorts of things are just, they're easy rituals to do. They're easy things to do that everyone can do. Like at night, I'll light a candle and I'll journal then too. Just to get the things out from the day that I needed to get out. I don't want to like go to bed with all these things or these thoughts that I've had throughout the day. So this way I can kind of clear my mind. And I have an altar. It's got candles and crystals and incense and all sorts of stuff. And I like candles and I pull my tarot cards and I do those sorts of things. I think that that's
Mm-hmm.
really important. And then my shop sells a lot of those things that you could get. You've got journals, you've got candles and incense. I even have bath bombs for baths.
You
Baths
have the
can be
best bath
such a
bomb
ritual.
collection.
Yes.
They are so cool and fun and different. Yes.
They come from New Orleans. They're amazing. So even a bath can be a ritual, just the
Hmm.
water soaking and letting things just flow out of you, all those thoughts and just those emotions that you have during the day can be taken away in just a really good bath.
Hmm.
Like I love that
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah, and you're making a really good point. You're like opening my eye to something that, like, I do have morning rituals. I just never thought of them that way. I
Yeah.
never like intentionally, knew that was what I was doing. 'Cause yeah, when I get up, like I make my coffee. I have my big giant tumbler of ice water. I do light incense almost every morning. And I always have a playlist going. And it's just kind of like that's my time to, number one, wake up, but also like get into the vibe of the day and think through like, okay, I want to have a good day. Here are some things I'd like to do, but here's how I'd like to feel.
Yeah.
Some days are more successful than others, but it is a ritual.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the altar idea because like I don't have one, but I have lots of crystals and just like little things that if I did have an altar, these would be the things that would go on it.
Yeah,
And I
and
was just
it's super
curious,
simple.
like yeah, yeah.
Super, it can be a candle and like something that means something to you. Like I have a David Bowie photo, like a David
Hmm.
Bowie photo and a candle and some incense, and there you go. You have an altar. And it
Hmm.
can be to Bowie, it can be to anybody, it can be to your ancestors, it can be anything.
Hmm.
Pull a tarot card
Yeah.
and fill it out, really easy.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and all of that I'm sure, I mean, not only supports you and, as a person, but as a business owner, being in business is really freaking hard.
Oh
And
yeah.
we need all of our strength and we need all of our support and we need all of our just, yeah, calm, zen, setting our intentions. So I love that's such a part of your daily routine.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, okay, so let's talk about Bowie for a second. Because that
I'm
was one of the
obsessed.
first that was one of the first things that we talked about back when we started working together in 2020, which is just crazy. Um, it was yeah, I think we started working together like 2 months before the pandemic happened.
Yeah, right
So
before it
it's been
shut
a
down.
crazy time. Yeah. But that was such a like pillar of your branding, your vibe, your philosophy. You were in the other space still at this point.
Yeah.
What is it about David Bowie for you?
He's a free spirit. He's beautiful. He followed his own path. He was
Hmm.
always himself and he was always bold about it. And
Hmm.
I don't know, I embrace it. And he was my sexual awakening with Labyrinth. So, what can I say? I love
So
him
how
so much.
okay, so when did that happen? When did the labyrinth thing happen? How old were you?
Oh my God, 7, 8, maybe?
Okay. Okay. So he's been with you your whole life
He's
basically.
been with me forever. I'm
Hmm.
so sad I never got to see him live.
I was just gonna ask.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dave did, and I didn't, and I'm very sad. But he did that way
Jealous.
before I met him. But
Okay. All right, he gets a pass then.
yeah, I'm
Man,
jealous.
that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, he I mean, definitely like when I think of bold authenticity, fearlessness,
Mhm.
just not giving a fuck, literally. All of that, not only in his artistry, but just in the visuals too. Like what he
Mhm.
wore, how he acted, what he sang about, what like the amazing like career of photography too, like of
Yeah.
pictures of him, I mean. Just incredible, incredible person that I think would be on many folks' vision boards for,
Yeah.
aspirational purposes. So I
Mhm.
just love that he has become, part of your brand and part of your just
Yeah.
spirit.
I mean, he's
I love that
everywhere.
so
He's all
much.
over the office. He's on my business
Hmm.
card, little ways,
That's
little
right.
things, but he's all over the place. Like
Yeah.
nods.
So talking about business cards, I wanted to absolutely spend some time chatting about branding with you because
Hmm.
it's been such a bold, impactful, that's not the right word, but just how everything looks like visually for Kismet is just so different. It stands out, and not just because it stands out from other folks in the acupuncture or wellness space, but it just stands
Hmm.
out, period. It makes you want to pick up that business card or pick up that pin or button, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Hmm.
It's got the lightning bolts, it's got the hot pink, it's got the, black and white kind of bold text. We've got, you yourself, you've got the tattoos, you've got the piercings. There's this awesome cartoon. It's all so you. And so I wonder, have you always felt confident like showing up in that bold way, or did that evolve over time? Like, how did you get to that level or to that space where you're like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm putting it out there. This is me. I'm being myself because I know for a fact that is something that lots of folks in my audience struggle with. Like, they want to get there. Not that they have a brand like yours or a business like yours, but they want to get to that point where they can do that in whatever that looks like, for them. So
Yeah.
how did you get to there?
I think in the beginning, after school and learning everything, it was like, let's appeal to the masses, let's do this sort of thing and be laid back. And so I had these logos that didn't match what I was doing, that didn't feel right. My website, you remember, was absolutely terrible. Um, all sorts of things like that. And I was like, let's just, be a blank thing so people can come in and see me. And then at some point, I just stopped giving a fuck. And I was like, I'm not going to get the people I want if I'm not real, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
who I am. And so that's when everything changed. And then when I saw Doodlebot and her little drawings that she made, and I was like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, I want one of those and I want that to be my logo. And then with your help, I mean, I think that changed everything. That turned everything around with the new website, with the new logo, with everything. And it just made it so much more appealing. Like, I feel like my website is an extension of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you did such an amazing job doing that. And so now people can go on the website and before they even meet me, they know who I am. So they
Mm.
know they're not going to agree with me or they are going to agree with me before they ever meet me or call me or make an appointment. So like
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's magic. I think that's amazing. And just being like yourself, I just feel like, why not be yourself? Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody, you don't want to be cookie cutter. You don't want to be just like everybody else. Like I don't want an office that's sterile and all white and there's no feeling to it. And it
Mm-hmm.
just feels clinical. Like, we go to doctor's offices enough that we get that all the time. I'd rather
Mm-hmm.
be a little different for an acupuncturist. And again, I'm an acupuncturist. I mean, that's kind of out in its own way too. Like being somebody that
Mm-hmm.
sticks needles in people all day and doing that kind of stuff, it's not like the normal everyday sort of thing. So I can have pink hair, I can have piercings and tattoos, I can be open vocally about my politics and my just everything I believe in and that brings in the people that want to be around me and want to
Mm-hmm.
be by me. And I think that that's been the best thing about having that website, the business cards, the entire office space. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird to be my own brand, but it's fun at the same time, At least
Yeah.
I'm always on brand.
Yes, literally, you're
Yeah.
you have no choice.
Yeah.
You're walking, talking brand. And thank you so much. I had obviously a blast making your website, and so many folks have found me because of your website.
Yeah.
But I wanna go back to something really important that you said just now, and there's a cat tail behind you. For
There's a
those of you who
cattail
are
behind.
not watching the video version of this, just know that there is a cat walking behind Katie right now.
Yeah.
Which cat is that, by the way?
That is Fiona Beans. That is my one-eyed
Okay.
wonder.
Aw. There she is. Oh, you have to watch this on YouTube, guys. Hi, Fiona. How you
Okay,
doing?
welcome.
I want to go back to something really important you just said, which was basically like if I'm just trying to fit someone else's mold, or I'm just trying to be, you know, generic, vanilla, whatever, like that's not going to be the laser focus that's going to pull in the people that I vibe with, like the people,
Yeah.
that I want to treat and get to know and, welcome into my space. And that's something that I fully believe, like the stuff that you put out, this is any business, by the way, anyone listening, like the content you put out, the marketing you put out, the messaging, the designs, like all of that stuff, it should attract the people that you want to work with, but it should also repel the people that you don't want to work with.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you know this, but I have a couple slides about you in one of my master classes
I
where
love
I
that.
talk about this idea and I say, I have it open on another screen, so I'm just gonna read it. I say, Katie has hot pink hair, tattoos, wears checkered Vans, she loves David Bowie, just happens to be building her acupuncture and apothecary fempire by injecting these fun and nuanced tidbits into her branding, marketing, and online presence. She's growing her business tremendously by being her authentic self. And I say how, some of the stuff that we've worked on and all that stuff. And I said, we wanted to make sure that her authentic self was accurately represented in everything she put out there for her acupuncture practice, because she knows who she is, knows that she's not for everyone, and knows that that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think another just awesome example of that is when we came up with the quote that you use in a lot of your marketing, and a little design that we added for the quote that says, "Just let me stab you, you're gonna love it." Um,
Yes.
and I said how in the intro of this episode, I explained how, like, you're a little salty, and
I'm a
I
little
love
salty.
it.
Yeah.
And there's a little cat hiss behind some of the stuff, and that's just how we go. And so we made this little graphic with "Just let me stab you, you're gonna love it." And I know you got a lot of good feedback about that, because I know
Oh
that
my
the
God. Yeah.
people the people who get you get it.
Yeah.
And it'll actually capture more people, like you're being really specific, with your messaging. And I just wonder, once you started putting that kind of graphic or messaging out there, like what were people saying about that? What was the reaction?
Oh my God, everybody laughs about it. Everybody looks at it and laughs. Like my friend made a piñata with that saying on it for me, and it hangs in the office, and everybody sees it, and they just laugh about it, and we giggle, and we have a good time about it. And it's pretty representative of who I am, I think. Let me stab
Mm-hmm.
you. You're gonna love it. And a lot of times people are like, don't mention needles, don't talk about needles. But that's what I do. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to talk about needles. I'm going to show you needles. I want to demystify it. They're not scary.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome and they're going to help you heal. And I want to take care of you. And so I want you to know that. And that's how I take care of you. I'm not afraid of them. So,
Mm-hmm.
you just got to be yourself. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And I remember, just on a personal note too, like I didn't know anything about acupuncture before you and I started working together. And one of the first things that you showed me in your old space, I was like, "Can I see an acupuncture needle?" Like I had no
Hmm.
idea. And you showed me, and it was like the thinnest, tiniest little thing, and you were explaining that it's thinner than a human hair. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 That's crazy. It was so much less intimidating than I thought, and I'm sure you get that all the time. Like, does it hurt?
Yeah. I've only
Mm-hmm.
had two people in the entire history of all my needling that I had to stop needling because they couldn't handle the
Oh,
needle
okay.
because they
Wow.
had such a bad needle phobia. But
Hmm.
everybody else comes in and they're like, I'm not fond of needles. But by the end of it, they're asleep, they're acu-drunk, they are amazed at how well it went, how they didn't feel anything. Like, it's so easy.
I love it. I love it. And with part of that messaging that we were talking about, "Just let me stab you, you're gonna love it." We put that in print ads. We put that in a big pop-up banner for you to have at, like, different fairs and different events
Hmm.
and things. And then we also made some merch because
Yeah.
with your brand, it's punk rock, it's rock and roll, and I was like, let's get some buttons done. I was picturing like, a leather jacket or a denim jacket or something full of buttons. So we made all kinds of cool buttons with your cartoon version of you, with that
Hmm.
saying, with the David Bowie lightning bolt, with a bunch of different things, and we've made stickers and all kinds of stuff. And I think you have like a basket of that, right? Like at the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah. It's
And
just so much fun.
like, and you said it too, like, why be like everyone else? Like, that is so
Yeah.
boring.
Mm.
And I really think that, just trying something different. Also, that's the other thing too. Like, that was an experiment. Like, let's try some merch. Like, let's see what happens. And I
Yeah.
think that that's something that you've always been game for, has been trying things out and experimenting. And I think
Yeah.
that's something too that folks struggle with, like they're like they want to know the result ahead of time, before
Yeah. And you
trying
can't
something. What
know
do you think
that,
about
you
that?
know?
Mm-hmm.
You just can't know it. So you got to try it. If you don't
Yeah.
try stuff, you die. Like it's
Mm.
just like
Yeah.
you got to do something. Got to put
Mm-hmm.
yourself out there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst thing that
Yeah.
can happen? People say no.
Mm-hmm. You could always
Like,
change your mind too as a business owner.
exactly.
Like, just because you say something or do something or try something doesn't mean it's like written in stone. Like, okay, you tried it, it didn't work, you could change your mind. Or you tried it, you didn't like it, you can change your mind. It doesn't mean you're a failure or you're a
Yeah.
flake or something.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to learn from the failures, you know? You have
Mm,
to try stuff and see what happens. And if it doesn't work, well, you learned a really good lesson. You have to
hmm
think of it like that. It can't be, oh my God, I'm a failure. I failed. No, you failed at one thing.
mm,
There's so many more things to try and do. Like,
hmm
just keep going. Just because
Yeah.
something didn't work out once doesn't mean everything is gonna fail.
hmm hmm
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about your branding and how it stands out, I mentioned like it doesn't look like the typical Zen, kind of thing that you might visualize in your head when you think of wellness brands or acupuncture specifically. And I
Yeah.
just wonder, like as I'm thinking through, it's like a lot of beige or maybe a lot of like light blue or, gray or whatever. And I just wonder, how do you feel about standing out this way, not only visually, but with your point of view, with your voice, in your industry itself? And what has that feedback been like from peer to peer?
I mean, some people are totally against it. I'm
Hmm
sure that there's more out there that talk about it, that it's not their thing, but that's okay because I'm not for everyone. And even people in my own industry, like, there's not a lot like me. There's a
hmm
lot of that cookie cutter. This is what I do, like there's no imagination to what they do. And I think that
hmm
that's where I definitely stand out some.
hmm hmm
Um, I enjoy standing out. I enjoy it.
hmm
Just easier for me. I can't be like everybody else. My mom was always like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna be in a cubicle somewhere." So, and then
Yeah.
once I started getting tattoos, she's like, "What are you really gonna do?" And now I'm like, "Well, I own my own business, so fuck it. I can do what I want."
hmm I
Uh,
love that too. Like just the reminder that when you do uh open a business or when you are your own boss, like, yeah, you don't have to run shit by a million other people. Like, you are the person, you're in charge, you're your own boss. And like that could be amazing. It could also be really terrifying, but mostly it could be amazing.
yeah,
It's just a good reminder sometimes. I think when we're just in the day to day of running our own business, we freaking forget that sometimes.
yeah, yeah. Because running a business is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Really hard. There have been days when I've just wanted to throw in the towel, but here we are. We're gonna be at year 9 in
Oh my
February.
gosh. That's amazing.
What?
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, I hear you. Like this year in particular, has been really challenging.
Yeah.
Even worse than just pandemic stuff. Like, okay, yeah, I got through that. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like 2025 sucks.
2025
Um,
has been hard. I
yeah.
did so well during the pandemic because everybody was stressed. So everybody came in and I had rooms. And so, like, we had space to do it and all this. And it was so good. And now, like, the last 2 years have just been so hard to stay in business. And I don't
Mhm.
understand why. Everybody's still stressed.
I
It's
was
back
just
on
gonna
the board.
say, yeah, everyone is still stressed, definitely. But I'm hearing it across the board. I'm hearing it from
Yeah.
everybody. Literally, it doesn't matter what industry my small biz friends are in, everyone is struggling this year, which is like, okay, cool. Like that helps me on like a, you're not alone type vibe,
Yeah.
but like that doesn't help, my bank account or you
Word.
know, any of that. But yeah, it's definitely tough out here. And that's something I wanted to know about too was, you mentioned, okay, well, I'm going to open my own business then. And there are many folks out there who that's not something they're interested in. They don't want to open their own business. They want to just clock in, get their paycheck, clock out, done, whatever. And I get that too. Because entrepreneurial life, like we choose this craziness for some fucked up reason.
Mhm.
And I'm curious,
Yeah.
like, what made you feel like you were being called to do this work specifically? And then, what made you decide to open your own practice?
I couldn't stand being used by PTs and chiros and pain doctors anymore. Like, if
Mm,
somebody's gonna abuse me, it might as well be myself. Like, I've said that before.
pull
I
quote.
stand by it, like if somebody's gonna abuse me, which is what I do, because when you work 9 to 5, you're working 9 to 5. Most of the time,
Mm,
well, hopefully you're not taking it home and doing all this stuff later on, unlike my husband who brings his home all the time. So he's constantly working too, but like I'm always working, even on my days off. Even when I'm not
hmm
at the office, I'm working, I'm thinking about stuff, I'm planning, like there's just so much going on. I'm researching for patients, you know. So I chose to do this to myself. And is it hard? Yes. Does it suck a lot of the time? Yes. But would I change it? No,
Mm.
not at all. I can't
Oh,
imagine.
you said no with the quickness just then.
Yeah, no. I can't
hmm
imagine working for somebody else or doing anything for anybody else anymore. Like this is yeah. I like being able to take a vacation when I want to take a vacation, or when I feel like I'm really burnt out and I need a day off, I'll take a day off and help myself out. Like you
hmm
can't do that with most other jobs.
hmm
So, yeah. And yeah, almost being 9 years into it, I didn't even realize that's crazy.
That is crazy. And I know every July we celebrate the business anniversary along with your birthday. It's like
Yes.
they're combined in there.
Yes.
So yeah, that's so exciting. Um, by the way, on a side note, for anyone listening who wants to go explore, head to Instagram.com/Kismet acupuncture and scroll through Katie's Instagram account because another fun thing that we've done from time to time over the years has been the little cartoon version of you. Like
Yeah.
we've put a witch hat on her, we've turned her into
Yeah.
Krampus for Christmas, we've
That was
had
so
her
fun.
we've had her floating from a bouquet of balloons on your anniversary. Just so fun to,
Yeah.
put a little holiday or seasonal twist on that. So I say that to those listening, if you have a fun icon or a fun little graphic or, a little picture of yourself or of something that represents your business, like how can you customize that and personalize that with the season? Just something to keep in mind. But Katie's makes it easy because it's just such a fun little visual in and of itself that it's
Yeah.
easy to, make it something even sillier, or I think you were a pilgrim once for Thanksgiving, or I don't
I
know,
think
but
so. It was amazing. It's amazing. She's been
I love doing that
everything.
stuff.
Yeah.
um, when you're talking about, like you said, okay, I don't want to get burnt out. I want to just take a vacation when I can take a vacation. Like I want to take care of me. Um, what are the products right now that you offer that you love yourself? Like what's a couple favorite products right now that kind of help you with that, help you with sleep or stress or, calming?
Oh my God. I love every product that comes into my office. Like I don't sell things that I wouldn't use.
Mm,
So, my magnesium body butter is my favorite thing because it
I
helps me
think that's
sleep.
a big seller, right?
Yeah, that's a big seller. So that's really good for sleep, for muscle aches, for digestion, for everything. Just putting a little bit of that. Like I put it on the bottom of my feet. Some people put it
Hmm.
on like their back because they're hurting. It all does the same thing, but at night, at the end of the night, that's another little ritual. You take a shower, you can put some magnesium cream on, you can put some socks on and go to bed and you'll sleep really well. What else? I love all my candles because they smell amazing and they set the mood for just about everything you want to do.
Hmm.
Um, what else
I
do
have
I?
one right here, actually. I have a what
Yay!
is this one? Yeah. The Quarter Life Crisis from Anecdote.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love those
This one is
candles.
so
They're
good.
so fun. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I have your 40 Wink spray.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite things. I use that. It smells so good. I spray it on my pillow. But I think it's really cool that you're like, what will I need this evening? And you could just go browse your own store,
Yeah. Yeah.
see what
It's
to grab off the
fun.
shelf.
Yeah. You'll see in my house that I've got products all over the place. I always
Love
buy
it.
an extra one or two for myself.
Hmm. I love it. Um, Also, so we were talking about your website a bit and, ways to stand out and, I just want to be myself. One of the things that we incorporated was, well, we've incorporated like lots of personal touches into the site, but we have one section that we called, Shit I'm Into, which
Yep.
was fun and unexpected. And it's kind of like an area for you to talk about not only some of your favorite things, but like, what are you watching right now? What are you listening to right now? What are you reading right now? So fill that in for us. What are you watching, reading, and listening to right now?
What am I watching, reading, and listening to? I've been watching a lot. My comfort show is The Amazing Race. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Phil Keoghan is the greatest host ever. I just love him so much. And then just watching these people be crazy is fun. Um, so we've been watching old seasons of Amazing Race. We've been watching
Hmm.
Yellowstone. We finally got into Yellowstone. And
That's
that's
on my
really
list.
good. Yeah, it's really good. Um, Reading, I read so fast, it's so hard to keep that area updated just because I finish a book and I start another one immediately. So I finished one this morning and I've already started a Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. It's a thriller. I don't know. I'm only like 5 pages in, but
I
so
need to
far.
pause here because listeners need to understand. Katie is the fastest reader I've ever met in my life. Like she's not kidding. She's got books all over. She's got like books on deck. She's got books on books on books, and she consumes them so fast and so like
Yeah.
she devours these books. And it's so cool. Like it's a big part of her personality too. Like every year you've got like your favorites list and I think like the list of what you want to read in the new year. You had like a book club going. Like books are a huge
Yeah.
part of your life.
I love books ever since I was little. The first thing I do when I move is get a library card. Like,
Oh, that's so
I
I love
love the
that.
library
Me
and I
too.
love books. So I read all the time. If I'm not at work, I'm probably reading. So that's what I do. I enjoy it. And then I journal about them in my journal. Like,
Oh wow.
I'll write about them so that I can like remember them. So I can remember
Hmm.
the books I've read this year, which is good.
Mm.
Because you read so fast, sometimes you don't absorb it all, but I've
Yeah.
been pretty good this year. I've been journaling about them all. So,
Cool. What
yeah.
was what's one of your favorites from this past year that
Hmm.
jumps into your mind?
Heart the Lover or Moderation. I just read those and they are both extraordinarily good. They're just like slices
Mm.
of life.
Okay.
No like
Cool.
thriller, no romance, none of that sort of stuff. There's some romance in moderation, but like it's not the main theme.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And what about music? What are you listening to right now? Or podcasts?
Ooh, what am I listening to? Podcast. I just finished Jeremy Renner's book, My Next Breath, which was
Oh,
brutal.
I do
It
want to
was
do that. Yeah.
so good, but it was brutal listening to his
Mm-hmm.
accident and him recounting
Yeah.
the accident. I listen to the Savage Love Cast all the
Mm-hmm.
time. I love Dan Savage. Um, what else am I listening to? At the office, we're always listening to Leon Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
He's calm and I love him. I love him so much. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the new Motion City soundtrack came out, so I've been listening to that in my downtime. And that's about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Cool. I
And
always
then
like to get
whatever
a
Dave
little
is
little
playing.
vibe check of what was it?
Yeah.
What was that?
Whatever Dave is playing. Dave's usually playing like reggae or something, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of reggae.
Gotcha.
Just chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Yeah, I know like that section of the site. I think it's just like an extra little way that it shows more of your personality and it's like another connection point for potential clients. It's like, "Oh, I love David Bowie," or, "Oh, I read that book that was so good."
Yeah.
It's also something to talk about at their first appointment, or or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm always asking people what they're reading, and we're always talking about books. And like when I'm in the office, my book, whatever book I'm currently reading, is usually on the counter with me, because that's what I
Hmm.
do in between patients. When they're cooking, I'm probably reading, writing notes, doing those sorts of things, but like I'll read my book. And so
Hmm.
I have conversations with patients all the time about books. We're always sharing. I have one patient that we email each other back and forth all the time about the books that we've just read.
I love that.
What we
That's
do when
fun.
she
It's like
comes
kind of a
in,
little
we catch up.
a little pin pal kind of thing.
Yeah, we catch up on
Cool.
books. We're always helping each other with books. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Um, talking about connecting with others, I know that slowly over the years, like you were taking over like multiple suites in your building. You had like a little event space and you've offered some workshops and some classes and things. First, I want to know, why did you want to do that? And the second question is, you do something that I think is really unique, that I think is extremely creative too, where you collaborate with other businesses and other spaces to have like you could go do an event at their space or teach a
Mhm.
class or whatever. So talk to me about like the not only the events and the, growing into, or wanting to do more events in your space, but then also the collaboration piece with others.
Yeah, so the office, I mean, I've taken over the entire first floor of the building that I'm in. So I have three treatment rooms, and then I have a big open space where we do like yoga, sound baths, those sorts of things. Um,
Hmm.
I think I just wanted the whole building. I don't know. There was just something about it that I just wanted to take over. Um,
Uh-huh.
some extra space, and I thought we could do community events, and I thought that would be really fun. And we've slowed down on those, but they were always really fun, really popular. Um, and then creating other sort of things has just been fun. Collaborations with other people, like my yin and pins are
Yeah,
always
I want to hear
really
about that.
fun.
Hmm.
Um, I can take that into any yoga studio or plant shop. Like we did the ones at Terrace Plant Shop for so long. Those were so much fun, but he closed Metuchen, so we don't do them anymore. But all these different workshops that you can take in. I'm currently working on one for postpartum.
Hmm.
We're also trying to do one for like women that have miscarriages, kind of like
Oh,
a
wow.
yin, but more like sound bath, more of a how can acupuncture help you with your fertility sort of thing with a couple
Hmm.
other practitioners. So we're working on something for that. Hopefully we'll be bringing that into the world sooner rather than later. Um, but yeah, it's fun to collaborate with other people, why
Yeah.
not? Everybody's got
Yeah.
the tool they do, so why not mix it? And acupuncture mixes with so many things.
Which you wouldn't think,
Yeah,
if you, but it does. Like, and I
yeah.
talked on there was an episode that I did a couple months ago with Ellen Bodnovich. She's the owner of Ocean Brew Coffee here in Ocean Township, and the whole episode was about collaboration and community,
Mhm.
and why that was such a important element to her business. She believes just as you do, kind of like the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Like there's how can we help each other out? How can we creatively do something together? And I think that that's becoming more and more popular these days too,
Yeah.
for, just getting to know others and being creative together as business owners and expanding your, for lack of a better term, expanding your like digital Rolodex, your
Yeah.
networking group.
And it
So,
introduces you to people that you may not have known, like
mm-hmm,
working with a sound bath person. Somebody wants to come for the sound bath, but then we can add this extra layer of acupuncture to calm your nervous system while you're doing it. Like those are people that probably never would have tried acupuncture, but look at them. They're now sitting in a sound bath with needles in and laying there for 45 minutes and enjoying the entire session, like you're just,
mm-hmm.
the more that you collaborate, the more you get yourself in front of people.
Mm-hmm. And I know there's a spot on your site. If you go to kismetacupuncture.com/events, that's where Katie will list any event or upcoming yin and pin that she has coming up. But at the bottom of that page, there's also a section that says, "Got an idea? Want to host?" I'm literally reading it right now. I don't have it memorized. Got an idea? Want to host? If you're a yoga studio that would like to host a yin and pin, or you have a workshop idea that you think would be a great fit at Kismet, get in touch. So if
Yeah.
you're listening to this and you're like, maybe I could do something with Katie. I have a cool idea for something that might be a good fit. Like, get in touch with her because she is
Yeah.
open to those kinds of ideas. There's some fun collaborations you've done in the past, and I'm sure there's many more you could do. So I love
Yeah.
that, though. I love that you kind of plant that seed out there. Um, and you briefly mentioned it before, we're kind of talking about like business is not always cute.
Mhm.
And you've been open about your mental health journey, and some of the things that you've gone through. And I just wonder, and you said earlier, like I don't have to hide my politics. I don't have to, bite my tongue when I talk about different topics. I just wonder, why is transparency like that important to you, as a business owner?
Because people need to know that you're a real person. Like,
Mm,
I'm not a robot. I'm not an automaton. Like, I'm not anything like that. I'm a real person and I have feelings and I have struggles and I've lived life and people can relate to that and you want people to relate to you, like people walk in and they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that you were this or that." And then they're like, "Oh my God, so am I. And can we talk about it?" And, that's a beautiful thing to be able to connect with a person on some other level. It's
mm-hmm,
not just, I'm not just a practitioner that's going to stab you with needles. I want to hear about your family. I want to hear about what you're going through. I want to know what's going on in your life so that I can best treat you. That's my job to take care of these people that walk in my door. And I can't do that if we're not having conversations about life or what we're going through. Like I always believe that all my shit leaves at the door. Like I don't bring my stuff into a room, but when we're talking, like, we can talk about stuff without it being like, poor me, woe is me, like everything's focused on me, but
mm-hmm,
we can have real conversations, and that's really important to me. And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
everybody has a mental health issue, so why not talk about it? We need to destigmatize some of these things that people think we shouldn't talk about. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
a big proponent of that. So, if you know that I have depression, let's talk about it. That's totally
Mm-hmm.
fine. You have depression, let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
anxiety in this world, this dumpster fire of a world that we're in right now, Like, I'm not ignoring
Mm-hmm.
the fact that we are in a dumpster fire, that the world is falling apart around us. And, I hear from my patients when they look at my Instagram and they go, "Oh my God, you're the only person that shared something about this or that, and it was real, and I felt
Mm.
connected to it. And thank you for doing that." And like, that's just who I am, Like, I'm not going to sit here and be silent about everything. And I find that a lot of acupuncturists are silent or sadly on the other side of things. There's a lot
Mm.
of scary Trumpism in acupuncture, and it's a little frightening that these people are helping other people.
Hmm.
But
Speaking about that, you had, I know we did this, I think it was a couple years ago at this point, but we updated your site to include an anti-oppression statement.
Yeah.
And that was important to you. You wanted to have that not only live right on the homepage. You know, it's one of the
Yep.
first things you see when you come to or when you come to kismetacupuncture.com. And then it also lives on a separate page on its own as well. But you know, why, and you just were talking about why, but I guess uh what was the reaction to you publicly sharing that and wanting to make sure to prioritize, like, I'm putting this on here. Like, this is just so you
Yeah.
know, this is who I am. These are my beliefs, and this is who you're working with.
Yeah, because I mean, you should know who you're working with. You should know the
Yeah.
person that's taking care of you. And that was a big deal for me. That was really important to me to have out there. You know, I believe in Black Lives Matter. I believe in Asian Lives Matter and gay rights and, you know, all of that stuff. And so it was really important to just have that be out there and be front and center because I want people to know that I'm a safe space.
Mm.
I don't want
Hmm.
them to feel like they can't open up or they can't talk to me or, you know, any of those sorts of things. Like, I really want people to know that I'm there for them.
Hmm. Hmm. I loved it. I love that it was important to you. And it was something that I wish more folks would be inspired to do.
Yeah, shout
And
out to
I know
Turkey.
you had gotten inspired, I think, from Turkey and the Wolf, right?
Yep.
For
Shout out
that
to
they were
Turkey and the
doing
Wolf.
that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically their oppression statement. Anti-oppression statement, and I basically tweaked a little bit of it and then made it really pretty and pink, and that's what we did. And
Hmm. Yeah.
it's so important to be a safe space, and that's just what I want people to feel
Yeah.
and to know.
And when you were talking too about um you know, the like if someone came in and they were like, you know, you shared about your journey with depression, like I have depression too. Like I think that uh I'd be curious to know how many folks come to you uh for acupuncture treatment where it's not necessarily like an injury or physical pain. You know,
Hmm.
it's like I can't sleep or I'm depressed, I have anxiety. Like, talk to me a little bit about that because I think like before I started working with you, I did think it was like, oh, you get acupuncture when you have a knee injury or a shoulder
Yeah.
injury or something like that.
Yeah. So a lot of people think that, but Dave asks me what I treat every day, and you know, I can sit here and I can say it's back pain or knee pain or neck pain or headaches, but it's anxiety and it's stress and it manifests differently in everybody. Some people it's fertility issues, some people it's back pain, some people it is neck pain. Um, but every day is anxiety and stress just showing up differently in people. And that's
Mm-hmm.
basically what I treat. And people walk in and they're like, I'm so anxious today, or I need distress relief. Or they're
Mm-hmm.
like, put the needles in my ears that make me feel calm. You know, people know what I'm doing these days, you know, and if I forget
Mm-hmm.
like the needle between your eyebrows, they're like, where's my needle? I need my brain to shut off. I need to be
They've
calm.
become the professional now.
Yes, yes. They know exactly what they want.
And what is the difference between, because I know like there's many different modalities and kind of methods for this work, but I'm thinking about like acupuncture needles versus like the cupping and the fire and all of that stuff. And you have heart-shaped cups, which are just really cute.
I do.
Um, how do those things work differently? Like what do they treat versus the other?
So the needles, I mean, we're looking at the whole body. So we're using the needles to treat the whole body. We're trying to kick in your innate healing abilities. The cups, it depends on where we're putting them. Sometimes, you know, I have runners, so I put them on their legs and loosen things up. The
Mm,
cups are basically, we're loosening muscles, we're pulling out toxins, we're just kind of relaxing the body with those. And then I do gua sha, and that does the same sort of thing, loosens up that the whole neck and back. You know, everybody that comes in and they feel like their shoulders are in their ears, you know, by the time you
mm,
leave, their shoulders are back where they should be. Everybody's feeling calmer and more relaxed. So I think all combined, they all help to relax the body.
got it.
I think it's really
Yeah,
good for that.
it's so cool to see the after, like the before and after of of a cupping
Yeah.
treatment in particular. I always think of like the Olympic swimmers and stuff that have all the
Yeah.
marks on their back.
Exactly.
I've heard that it's like, it's more, it looks more intimidating than it actually is, and it
Yeah.
feels amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so this has been so much fun chatting. We're heading towards the end now, and I just want to know what's next for Kismet. Like, I would love to hear more about the pelvic floor work, if you're willing to share why you want that to
Yeah.
be, the next offering, and kind of tell us what else is coming up.
I am really interested in pelvic floor. I think it's really good for anything like fertility. I mean, who doesn't have some urinary incontinence once they reach their 40s or after they've had babies or things like
Hmm.
that? It can treat so much. And I'm really excited to bring that into the practice and work on pelvic floor and see how I can help people with pain, with tightness, with, all that kind of stuff down there. Um,
Hmm.
I'm very excited. And I mean, pelvic floor has become like a key word these days. Everybody's talking about their pelvic floor.
That's
So
true. Yes.
why not get into it? You
Hmm.
can help a lot of people. And I think that this will be a really great offering for my patients and for new patients.
Hmm. Very exciting. Good
Yeah.
luck to you with that. I'm already thinking of some fun puns. We'll circle back on that.
Yay.
But what would be your advice to someone who is just feeling a little anxious, a little afraid to bring more of themselves into their business and to be more of themselves in their business?
Yeah, just be yourself. I know that that's hard to do for a lot of people because you're like scared or worried that people aren't going to like it, but it's going to resonate with people. Be
Hmm.
yourself because you can't be anybody else. So you
That's
might as
true.
well be yourself and you might as well show it off and be bold with it, like go
Hmm.
full throttle. Show people who you are because
Love
they
it.
will resonate, they will find you, they will want to work with you. And that's,
Amen.
yeah, yeah.
Love it. Katie, thank you so much for chatting with me today, talking about Kismet, talking about your vibe, your beliefs, your mission, the work that you do, your community, all of the things. Like I said, so many folks find me through you. And I'm so grateful to you for that.
Yay.
And, not that ever, for those of you listening or watching this on YouTube, I'm not saying you have to have a hot pink brand,
Yeah.
or you have to have lightning bolts or you have to have a cartoon. Like, I'm just saying you can stand out, you can be different, you can be yourself. You don't have to be, like Katie said earlier, you don't have to use some cookie cutter template or, existing thing, a carbon copy thing, like she just said, like you can't be anybody else but yourself. And when
Yeah.
you are yourself, you're going to find those people that you want to work with and who want to work with you. So thank you for that reminder. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here. And please tell everyone where they can find you online and in person.
You can find me online, mostly on Instagram. That's my favorite thing. Instagram.com for whatever slash Kismet Acupuncture. You can go
Hmm.
on the website, kismetacupuncture.com. In person, I don't have anything in person right now because I'm traveling next week. So I'm taking some time off, but I'll probably be at some Christmas markets. I'm always vending and loving all that
That's
stuff. So
right. Coming up before we know it.
we, are getting into that time of the year again. So Christmas
Awesome.
market is coming.
Awesome. And for those of you who are in Jersey or in the tri-state area, get your butts to Kenilworth and come see Katie's
Yay!
apothecary.
Yeah.
Get on her table so that you can be acu drunk and have an acu nap and just have a relaxing day of self-care. Love it,
Yeah,
love
or
it.
shop online because I ship
Shop
everywhere.
online. That's right. Kismet acupuncture.com/shop. She's got
Yep.
all kinds of goodies for you. And everything is personally curated by Katie as well. I have the site open right now on my computer. There is bath stuff, ceramics, journals, essential oils, crystals, candles, skincare, sleep stuff, tea, all kinds of stuff. Go and browse and pick out something fun or send it to someone that you love
Yeah.
because who doesn't love getting fun mail?
Exactly.
Um, thank you again, Katie, so much. And I will chat with you soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye, my friend.
Bye.